Okay guys, this is going to be my first aid kit, but I just wanted to show you these first. On the top of my bag I've got elastic, which I never really use, but it's always there because it's quite good for tourniquet material. If you cut through an artery or a vein, you're going to need a tourniquet in order to tie the vein off on the limb, arm or leg. Yeah? So, also, inside my bag here, on the back brace, if you just undo these two clips here, the back brace is two steel rods which can be used as a splint on each side of a leg or an arm. So if you walk down and you kick your foot into a pothole and break your leg or your ankle, you've got a splint, because bearing in mind, if you break a leg or an ankle, you're losing blood when that bone breaks. So if you're going into shock with loss of blood through a bone break, you don't really want to be messing around making a splint out of wood with your knife, because you really, trust me, you won't care about that when it happens. So my first aid kit stays in here. Again, it's got a little handle on, so I can just pull it out when it's needed. It's always in this bag, always. Now, that's just my first aid kit. Small package, and it's really light. Even though when it comes to first aid, the last thing you want to be worrying about is how much it weighs, in my book anyways, because I'd rather be prepared for the accident than not prepared. So, opens up to this. So, in here I have spare hearing aid batteries for my hearing aid, because I'm quite deaf and I have hearing aids. I have a large amount of insect repellent, mosquito bites, hand wash, antiseptic wipes, and just cleansing wipes, stuff like that. So I have a large amount of these, because I don't really carry any antiseptic cream, because these will do, you know. You don't need to have extra cream and stuff if you've got alcohol wipes and stuff like that. So I have a large amount of them. In here I have safety pins, quite a lot of them hanging from the actual net meshing. Now this opens up on each side. Vinyl gloves, also can be used as a water carrier because I haven't got powder in. First aid swabs for blood. A large amount of water purifying tablets. These things are quite good if you have a small laceration. It's just a plastic pad basically that seals over the top of the cut, like a layer of skin that'll stop the blood. Large plasters, paper suture stitches, another large plaster, more suture stitches, more blood pads, a small pack of plasters that I've never actually used. These are again larger plasters, material pads to stop bleeding. Again, larger pads and plasters to stop laceration bleeding. My ears get really waxy because of the heat of the fire, so I always carry earbuds. Also good to clean, get some out your eye. Again, extra tourniquet material, because if you cut through something, you're going to need one of these straight away. Tape. I have a large amount of bandages, different sizes. Again, slings, never used them. You can be used on heads or even just a pad to stop bleeding again. More large bandages. These ones are self-sealing, they've got a clip on so that you don't have to worry about safety pins. You can just clip it straight in. In here. Resuscitation pad. Mouth to mouth, so that you don't end up kissing another man. So you just put this over the mouth and blow into it, and also it stops you don't have to seal the nose as much. This covers over the nose and the mouth, so you can blow straight into the pad and into the mouth. I have fishing line, which is excellent stuff for stitching yourself up. Small cuts. I've only ever had to use it once on the side of my hip. I slipped and caught it on glass that was broken in some woods from some foolish people decided to break glass on the floor. And small surgical scissors. These have got a curve in them, which are quite good to get under the skin to remove small items. Needles, which go with my fishing line. I have some waterproof matches, which have never been opened. These are quite good things, they'll light your tinder practically instantly. Or you can just put the whole box on the floor and light one of them. The sticks will you can use the sticks as tinder, and then you've started your little fire, and then you just add your pine cones or whatever else you carry on there. First aid blanket, never had to use it, but can be used for a shelter. Waterproof things because it's tin foil. Keep the heat. Small torch, which is quite good to have in a first aid kit if you hurt yourself in the dark. I have surgical scissors, also quite good if you're cutting through jeans or stuff like that. This is I have pincers, two scalpel rods, also assorted scalpel blades. Again, if you cut through an artery or a vein, sometimes the vein can actually go under the skin and bleed from underneath the skin, so what you need to do is make a small cut at the top of it and clamp it off. You can use the fishing wire, which you basically just hoop the needle and thread underneath the artery and tie a knot, which will tie it off, and then you can remove your tourniquet and you can actually move a lot better that way. Yep. Plasters again, which I find a pointless thing if you've got these quite big pads here, sticky plasters. More tape, elastoplast and the other stuff, because my brother's actually allergic to elastoplast, so I carry both just in case. Never have too much tape. Brilliant stuff. Large bandage again, good for stopping bleeding. Even then, you don't have to actually unwrap a bandage, you can just put it on a laceration like this and use it as an absorbent thing to stop the bleeding, and then wrap another bandage around it in order to keep it into place. And this is basically just a lot more bandages. In my book, you can never have too much bandages. I've got large ones, small ones, more vinyl gloves, more bandages, larger bandage. These things are absolutely amazing. I cut the sole of my foot walking around the woods in my bare feet because my boots were wet, and this pad just went on the sole of my foot again and another bandage around it in order to stop the bleeding. I don't carry saline solution because the last thing I want to do is dilute my blood by adding a liquid form to it. Pressure straight away. Don't stop putting pressure on it. If the blood comes through your bandages, add more bandages, that's why you carry more. And that's my first aid bag. Quite a small, compact thing, and you have an extreme amount in it. It's going to take me about an hour to get all that back in there now. So that's my first aid kit, guys. And yeah. Also, little things that, like your bag, is quite a good help with the tourniquet material if you don't want to go into your first aid kit and you're in a hurry. That's on the outside of your bag. Same again with the splints that I showed you at the start. Really good. So yeah, all that in the little tiny bag.